Welcome to Bedtime Sports Stories, the channel where legendary moments in sports are retold in a calm and soothing way to help you relax and fall asleep. If you enjoy these stories, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring bedtime sports stories, and tell us in the comments what time of the night are you listening to this story. Now, let's dive into tonight's story about
Lionel Messi, the road to World Cup glory in 2022. Introduction. In the scorching heat of Qatar on December 18, 2022, Lionel Messi finally achieved what had eluded him throughout his extraordinary career. As he lifted the FIFA World Cup trophy high above his head in Lusail Stadium, tears streaming down his face, the world witnessed the completion of one of football's most compelling narratives. This is the story of Lionel Messi's road to World Cup glory, a journey marked by heartbreak, perseverance, and ultimately redemption. The weight of expectation. From the moment Lionel Andres Messi burst onto the international scene as a teenager, comparisons to Diego Maradona were inevitable. Argentina, a nation that worships football like a religion, had been waiting for another saviour since Maradona led them to glory in 1986. The pressure on Messi's shoulders was immense, perhaps unfair, but undeniable. By 2022, Messi had won everything at club level: 7 Ballon d'Or awards, 4 Champions League titles, 10 La Liga championships with Barcelona, and countless individual records. Yet, without a World Cup, there would always be an asterisk next to his name in the minds of some critics. The question haunted him: could he truly be considered the greatest of all time without football's ultimate prize? The painful past. To understand the magnitude of Messi's 2022 triumph, we must revisit the heartbreaks that preceded it. In 2006, as a 19-year-old prodigy, Messi watched from the bench as Argentina was eliminated by Germany in the quarter-finals. His tears that day would become a recurring image in his World Cup journey. The 2010 World Cup in South Africa brought renewed hope. With Messi in his prime and Maradona as coach, expectations soared. But Germany crushed those dreams again, defeating Argentina 4-0 in the quarterfinals. Messi, despite his brilliance, couldn't score a single goal in the tournament. Then came Brazil 2014, perhaps the most painful chapter of all. Messi dragged Argentina to the final, winning the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. He scored crucial goals, created chances, and carried his team through grueling matches. But in the final against Germany, in the Maracanã Stadium, Mario Götze's extra-time goal shattered Messi's dreams. The image of Messi staring blankly at the trophy during the awards ceremony became symbolic of his World Cup curse. The 2018 World Cup in Russia brought more disappointment. An aging Argentina squad, poorly organised and tactically confused, was demolished 4-3 by eventual champions France in the round of 16. Messi scored once, but couldn't prevent the inevitable. At 31 years old, many wondered if his World Cup dream had died. The Copa América breakthrough. Before 2021, Messi had also failed to win the Copa América, suffering 4 final defeats with Argentina. The criticism was relentless. Despite his otherworldly performances for Barcelona, he was labelled a failure with his national team. The burden became so heavy that Messi briefly retired from international football in 2016 after another Copa América final loss. But in 2021, everything changed. Under coach Lionel Scaloni, a young manager who had never coached a professional club team. Argentina developed a new identity. They were no longer the Messi-dependent team of the past. Players like Emiliano Martinez, Rodrigo de Paul, Cristian Romero, and Angel Di Maria formed a cohesive unit around their captain. At the 2021 Copa América in Brazil, Argentina went undefeated. In the final at the Maracanã, the same stadium where Messi had tasted defeat 7 years earlier, Argentina beat Brazil 1-0. Di Maria's exquisite chip goal sealed the victory, but it was Messi who orchestrated everything. When the final whistle blew, Messi collapsed in tears, finally winning a major trophy with his country. The monkey was off his back, but the biggest prize still awaited: the road to Qatar. The path to the 2022 World Cup was smooth for Argentina. They topped the brutal South American qualifiers with ease, going unbeaten in their final 17 matches. More importantly, they had developed an unshakable team spirit. This wasn't just Messi's Argentina anymore. It was a band of brothers willing to fight for each other and for their captain's dream. Messi, now 35 years old and playing for Paris Saint-Germain after his emotional departure from Barcelona, knew this was his last chance. He had stated publicly that Qatar would be his final World Cup. The pressure was immense, but something was different this time. The Copa América victory had lifted a psychological burden. Messi seemed freer, more joyful, ready to embrace the challenge rather than be crushed by it. The tournament begins. Shock and response. Argentina arrived in Qatar as one of the favourites, riding a 36-match unbeaten streak. Their opening match against Saudi Arabia on November 22nd seemed like a formality. Messi scored an early penalty, and Argentina dominated the first half, having 3 goals disallowed for offside. Everything seemed to be going according to plan. Then disaster struck. In a stunning 15-minute spell early in the second half, Saudi Arabia scored twice through Saleh al-Shehri and Salem al-Dawsari. The world was shocked. Argentina had lost 2-1 to a team ranked 51st in the world. Messi's World Cup dream appeared to be crumbling before it had truly begun. The loss sent shockwaves through the football world. Critics sharpened their knives, ready to write Messi's World Cup obituary once again. But this Argentina team was different. In the dressing room after the match, there was no panic, no finger-pointing. Scaloni kept his team calm, and Messi, as captain, rallied his teammates. They had 2 group games to save their tournament. Rising from the ashes. 4 days later, Argentina faced Mexico in a must-win match at Lusail Stadium. The pressure was suffocating. For 64 minutes, the match remained scoreless, tension mounting with every passing minute. Then Messi produced a moment of magic. Receiving the ball 20 yards from goal, he took a touch and unleashed a low, perfectly placed shot into the bottom corner. Lusail Stadium erupted. Argentina had life. Enzo Fernandez added a spectacular long-range goal to seal a 2-0 victory, but it was Messi's moment that mattered most. He had delivered when his country needed him most, as he had done so many times before. The final group match against Poland was more comfortable. Argentina won 2-0, with Messi hitting the post from a penalty, before Alexis McAllister and Julian Alvarez scored. More importantly, Argentina had rediscovered their rhythm and confidence. The Saudi Arabia loss was now a distant memory. The knockout stage. Building momentum. The round of 16 brought a clash with Australia, a physical and organised opponent that made life difficult for Argentina. The match was tighter than expected, but Messi's brilliance shone through again. In the 35th minute, he dribbled past an Australian defender and fired a low shot into the net. It was his first ever goal in the World Cup knockout stages, a remarkable statistic that highlighted his previous struggles in the tournament. Julian Alvarez added a second goal after a fortunate deflection, and although Australia pulled one back through Enzo Fernandez's own goal, Argentina held on for a 2-1 victory. They were through to the quarterfinals, but bigger tests lay ahead. The Dutch drama. The quarterfinal against the Netherlands on December 9th became one of the most dramatic matches in World Cup history. It had everything: brilliant goals, tactical battles, controversy, and extraordinary tension. Messi was magnificent throughout. In the 35th minute, he assisted Nahuel Molina's opening goal with a sublime pass. Then, in the 73rd minute, he converted a penalty with ice in his veins, seemingly putting Argentina in control at 2-0. But the Netherlands, coached by Louis van Gaal, refused to surrender. Wout Weghorst scored in the 83rd minute, and then, in the 11th minute of stoppage time, he headed home, an equaliser from a cleverly worked free kick. The match went to extra time, and then to penalties. The game had become heated, with multiple confrontations between players. Messi, usually calm, was fired up, engaging in verbal exchanges with Dutch players and even Van Gaal. This passion showed a different side of the Argentine captain, a warrior willing to fight for his dream. In the penalty shootout, Argentina's goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez became the hero. He saved 2 Dutch penalties, while Argentina converted all 4 of theirs. Messi, who took Argentina's first penalty, scored with confidence. When Lautaro Martinez converted the winning penalty, Argentina had survived one of the most intense matches in World Cup history. Croatia, the semi-final masterclass. The semi-final against Croatia on December 13th was Messi's chance to show the world why he deserved to win the World Cup. Croatia, the 2018 runners-up, were a formidable opponent with a golden generation of midfielders led by Luka Modric. Many expected a close tactical battle. Instead, Messi and Argentina produced a dominant performance. In the 34th minute, Messi stepped up to take a penalty and calmly slotted it past Dominik Livakovic. He became the tournament's leading scorer and Argentina's all-time leading World Cup goal scorer, but his best was yet to come. In the 69th minute, Messi received the ball on the right side of the penalty area. What followed was pure magic. He accelerated past one defender, then another, with his low centre of gravity and close ball control, making him impossible to dispossess. He reached the byline and cut the ball back perfectly for Julian Alvarez to score Argentina's second goal. It was vintage Messi, the kind of dribble that had defined his career. At 35 years old, in a World Cup semi-final, he was still producing moments of genius that defied belief. Alvarez added a third goal later, and Argentina won 3-0, securing their place in the final. After the match, Messi's emotions were visible. He knew he was one match away from completing his dream. The football world waited with anticipation for what promised to be a spectacular final. The final, a match for the ages. December 18th, 2022, Lusail Stadium, Argentina versus France. Messi versus Mbappé. Experience versus youth. It was the final the world wanted to see. The first half was dominated by Argentina. They played with freedom and confidence, passing the ball beautifully and creating chances. In the 23rd minute, Angel Di Maria was fouled in the penalty area by Ousmane Dembélé. Messi stepped up to take the penalty. The weight of history, the hopes of millions, the culmination of his career, it all rested on this moment. He sent Hugo Lloris the wrong way. 1-0 to Argentina. 13 minutes later, Argentina doubled their lead with a stunning team goal. A flowing move involving multiple passes ended with Messi finding Alexis Mac Allister, who played in Di Maria. The veteran winger finished expertly. Argentina were cruising at 2-0, and the World Cup seemed destined for Messi. But France and Kylian Mbappé had other ideas. For 70 minutes, France had been invisible, their worst performance in years. Then, in the space of 97 seconds, everything changed. In the 81st minute, Mbappé converted a penalty. Barely a minute later, he volleyed home a stunning equaliser. The match was level at 2-2, and extra time beckoned. In the 108th minute of extra time, Messi restored Argentina's lead in the most messy way possible. A scramble in the French penalty area saw the ball fall to him, and he poked it over the line. His celebration was subdued but intense. He knew how important that goal was. Yet the drama wasn't over. In the 118th minute, Mbappé completed his hat-trick from another penalty, making it 3-3. He had single-handedly dragged France level twice. The final would be decided by penalties. The penalty shootout. Destiny fulfilled. After 120 minutes of extraordinary football, it came down to penalties. Messi took Argentina's first penalty and scored, as he had done all tournament. Mbappé also scored for France. The shootout continued, with Kingsley Coman's shot saved by Martinez and Paulo Dybala scoring for Argentina. Then came the decisive moment. Aurélien Tchouaméni stepped up for France and missed, shooting wide of the post. Leandro Paredes scored for Argentina. France's Randall Kolo Muani scored, and then Gonzalo Montiel, a substitute defender, took Argentina's fourth penalty. Montiel struck the ball firmly to Lloris's left. The French goalkeeper dived but couldn't save it. The net rippled. Montiel fell to the ground. His teammates sprinted toward him from the halfway line, and Lionel Messi, the 35-year-old captain who had carried the weight of a nation's expectations for nearly 2 decades, collapsed to his knees, his face buried in his hands. Argentina had won the World Cup. Messi had won the World Cup. The aftermath, immortality achieved. The scenes that followed were unforgettable. Messi was engulfed by his teammates, their joy and relief matching his own. When he finally received the trophy from the Emir of Qatar, draped in a traditional Qatari bisht, he lifted it high above his head. The image of Messi kissing the World Cup trophy became iconic instantly. In the mixed zone after the match, Messi could barely speak through his emotions. "It's just crazy that it happened this way," he said. "I wanted this so much. I knew God was going to give it to me. I had the feeling that this World Cup was the one." The celebrations in Argentina were unprecedented. Millions took to the streets of Buenos Aires and cities across the country. The team's return home saw an estimated 5 million people line the streets, making it impossible for the team bus to complete its planned route. Messi had united a nation and brought them the glory they had craved since 1986. Legacy and greatness. Messi's World Cup victory didn't just complete his trophy cabinet. It cemented his status as the greatest footballer of all time in the eyes of many. The debate with Cristiano Ronaldo, Diego Maradona, and Pelé could continue, but Messi now had the one argument that had been missing. Throughout the tournament, Messi scored 7 goals and provided 3 assists, winning the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player for the second time in his career. More importantly, he had shown different facets of his game: leadership, resilience, clutch performances under pressure, and the ability to lift his teammates. His performances in key moments were decisive. The goal against Mexico when Argentina was on the brink, the penalty and assist against the Netherlands in the most heated match of the tournament, the goal and magical assist against Croatia in the semi-final, 2 goals in the final, including one in extra time when his team desperately needed him. But beyond the statistics and the moments of individual brilliance, Messi's 2022 World Cup triumph was about redemption and perseverance. He had failed 4 times in major finals with Argentina before finally breaking through in 2021. He had been written off countless times, criticised despite his extraordinary club career, and doubted when it mattered most. The team behind the dream. While Messi was the star, his triumph was built on a foundation of teammates who believed in him and fought for him. Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper who saved 3 penalties in knockout matches, became a cult hero. Angel Di Maria, who had been dropped for the Saudi Arabia match, delivered in the final when it mattered most. Rodrigo de Paul, Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, and the midfield trio controlled games with energy and creativity. The defensive unit of Cristian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi, and Nahuel Molina provided stability. Julian Alvarez emerged as a revelation, scoring 4 goals and providing tireless running. And Lionel Scaloni, the coach who believed in this group of players and created a culture of unity and purpose, deserves immense credit for crafting a team that was greater than the sum of its parts. Messi's reflections. In the weeks following the World Cup, Messi reflected on what the victory meant to him. Completing my career by achieving my greatest dream is the best thing that could have happened to me, he said. After this, what more is there? I've got everything I could have wanted in my career, and I achieved it because of this, the World Cup. He spoke about the journey, the failures that preceded success, and the importance of never giving up. I tried so hard for this, he said. I knew that at some point, God was going to give it to me. I felt that 2022 was the year, that this was the World Cup. It was my last one, my final opportunity to achieve the dream. And it happened. The victory changed how Messi viewed his career. Previously, there had always been something missing, a shadow over his achievements. Now, there was only light. He had proven himself on football's biggest stage in the most important matches when the pressure was at its peak. The cultural impact. Messi's World Cup triumph transcended sport. In Argentina, it became a moment of national unity and pride. The country had struggled with economic difficulties, political divisions, and social challenges. But for a few weeks in December 2022, all of that was forgotten. The nation came together to celebrate their captain and their team. The image of Messi lifting the trophy became one of the most iconic in sports history, shared millions of times across social media. Children around the world who had never seen him without a World Cup could now look up to him as the complete champion. His legacy was secure, not just as a great player, but as a winner of the ultimate prize. The final against France was watched by over 1.5 billion people worldwide, making it one of the most viewed sporting events in history. The match itself, with its dramatic twists, Messi's brilliance, and Mbappe's heroic hat-trick, was widely regarded as one of the greatest finals ever played. The rivalry with Ronaldo Messi's World Cup victory also had implications for his long-standing rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo. The two players had dominated football for nearly 2 decades, winning 13 Ballon d'Or awards between them. Their rivalry had defined an era and divided football fans into 2 passionate camps. Ronaldo had already won the European Championship with Portugal in 2016, giving him a major international trophy that Messi lacked at the time. But the World Cup is considered more prestigious, and Messi's victory in Qatar, combined with Ronaldo's disappointing tournament, where he was benched for Portugal's knockout matches, seemed to tip the scales in Messi's favour for many observers. Yet both players deserve recognition for their extraordinary careers. They pushed each other to unprecedented heights, set records that may never be broken, and entertained billions with their talent and dedication. Life after glory. Following his World Cup triumph, Messi continued playing for Paris Saint-Germain before making a surprising move to Inter Miami in Major League Soccer in the summer of 2023. The decision shocked many who expected him to return to Barcelona or join a club in Saudi Arabia. But Messi chose a new challenge in the United States. He also announced that he would continue playing for Argentina, reversing his earlier statements about retiring from international football after Qatar. Having achieved his ultimate dream, Messi wanted to savor the joy of playing for his country without the burden of expectation. He led Argentina to victory in the 2024 Copa América, adding another trophy to his collection. The World Cup victory freed Messi from the weight he had carried for so long. He could now play with pure joy, enjoying every moment on the field rather than feeling the constant pressure to prove himself. Conclusion: a journey. Complete Lionel Messi's road to World Cup glory in 2022 was the culmination of a 17-year journey with Argentina's national team. It was a journey marked by heartbreak in 4 Copa América finals and 3 World Cups. It was defined by immense pressure, unfair comparisons, and constant criticism, despite being recognized as the best player of his generation. But it was also a journey of incredible perseverance, unwavering dedication, and ultimate redemption. Messi never gave up, even when it would have been easy to walk away. He continued to fight for his dream, to lead his team, and to believe that one day his moment would come. When it finally did, on that December night in Qatar, with the whole world watching, Messi delivered. He scored 7 goals, created countless chances, and showed leadership that inspired his teammates to achieve the impossible. He faced the best team in the world in the final, fell behind twice, and still found a way to win. The image of Messi lifting the World Cup trophy, his face showing every emotion from relief to joy to disbelief, captures the essence of his journey. It's the image of a dream realized, of persistence rewarded, of greatness finally complete. Lionel Messi's World Cup victory didn't just complete his personal collection of honours. It completed football's greatest story, proved that fairy tales can come true, and showed that even the greatest dreams are possible if you never stop believing. For Argentina, it was their third World Cup title, placing them alongside some of the most successful nations in football history. For Messi, it was everything: the missing piece, the final validation, the ultimate glory. In the end, Messi's road to World Cup glory wasn't just about one tournament in Qatar. It was about a lifetime of dedication to the beautiful game, about representing his country with pride through triumph and defeat, and about never giving up on the dream that mattered most to him. That dream is now reality, etched in gold, forever part of football history. Lionel Messi, World Cup champion. The road was long, but the destination was worth every step.